and he had to get this right because it would have been a sending off almost certainly. He's onside, it's knocked over the top. And chasing back there is Nunes. I think he wins the ball clearly, just looking at a replay of it now. Knocked over by Thiago. Yeah, he gets the ball, he wins the ball clearly. It was really good defending actually, but to be fair to him, Schada's first touch was poor. If his first touch is good there, the German, he's through on goal. It's as simple as that. He would have just had Donnarumma to beat. Midway point of the first half, Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. Free kick to Brentford, left-hand side of the centre circle. And will be taken by Coyote by the looks of things. But that was a lovely ball over the top, by the way, by Thiago to set Schada free. As I said, his first touch deserted him, which allowed Nunes to get the challenge in just on the edge of the penalty area. It wouldn't have been a penalty anyway if it was a foul, because it was outside the penalty area. But whether or not it would have been a red card, of course, that's another thing. Free kick then to Brentford. They've gone short, just touched off, and then long towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's Semenyo, of all people, heading it clear. Now, can Manchester City break here? Looped up towards the far side. Nico O'Reilly has it. The City fans trying to encourage their team to get forward quickly here, but Brentford already back in numbers. Still Nico O'Reilly, but he sort of slowed it down almost to walking pace. Goes out to Doku over on that far side. Doku now. There's the ball across the 18-yard line. Shot comes in, takes a deflection. That'll go behind for a Manchester City corner. I don't think that shot was going anywhere from Tierney Reinders. And that's, I think, the best Manchester City would have got, because I think that shot from the Dutchman was going well wide. But City get a second corner. Again, they've gone short. Here's Doku. Now Bernardo Silva. Shot comes in. That's blazed over the bar from Tierney Reinders. He's not afraid to shoot. I'll give him that, Tierney Reinders. But thus far, this afternoon, here at the Etihad, he's not got the shooting boots on. And that one goes into the crowd, into the south stand towards our right-hand side and behind for a goal kick for Brentford. Pretty even Stevens, I have to say, so far this game. The stats are telling us that possession-wise, Manchester City 62-38, 5 shots for City, 1 for Brentford, and the XG, which is always it's always a good guide of how a match is going. The XG's, well, it's 0.01 for Brentford and 0.12 for Manchester City, so very little in the way of goalmouth activity so far. City with possession. Bernardo Silva takes it inside the centre circle, knocks it to his left, and Nathan Ake, the Dutchman, brings it over the halfway line. Gives it to Cherki, gets the ball back immediately. All very pedestrian from Manchester City at the moment. Now Doku takes it up. In a deeper position this time, the Belgian. Puts the afterburners on as he tries to go around Coyote, then just holds it up level with the edge of the penalty area. Infield to Cherki. Goes back to Guay just outside the centre circle. Square to Ake again in the inside left position. Finds Doku again. It's going to keep going out to Doku. And this time he doesn't beat Coyote. He shows too much of it to the Italian. And Brentford clear. But City pick up the pieces again. Guay inside the centre circle. Low ball out to Semenyo. Now maybe Semenyo can produce some magic down this right-hand side for Manchester City. A couple of step-overs down towards the byline. There's the cross. It's a nice one. There's Haaland with the header, but it's a tame one from the Norwegian. Down into the ground, and a simple save for Kelleher. Nice work though by Semenyo. Had 2 Brentford players around him. Down towards the byline. Right-footed delivery. Haaland with a head about 8 yards out. And simple save for Kelleher. On ball forward now for Brentford. That's going to bounce out of play, but I think it's come off of a Brentford player. It's going to be a Manchester City throw-in down this near side, inside their own half, to be taken by Matheus Nunes. Guardiola off the bench, just waving his players forward at the moment. It's particularly animated. Pep Guardiola finds Semenyo on the chest. What is it centrally, but straight to a Brentford player, but Brentford give it straight back to Semenyo. Plays it back inside his own half to Nunes. Semenyo again down this near side. Back it goes to Guay. Good touch by Guay there, because he was under real pressure from Schada and released it towards Nunes again, and City are on their way. Now Doku. Here's the danger man. There's the overlap. Nico O'Reilly. Can he get the ball right this time? No, he can't. Cleared by Brentford out towards the right-hand side of their penalty area. Doku again, though. if something's going to happen for City, it's going to be Doku who's going to be involved, surely. Reinders, square to Nunes, 35 yards from goal central. Nunes now just works a little bit of space, works his way out towards the right-hand side of the penalty. I don't know where Semenyo was, but he certainly wasn't there. He was more central, Semenyo, just outside the D, actually. Goes back to Mark Guay, square to Ake. Doku again available over on that far side, looking to take on yet again Michael Coyote. Yamaloy comes across as well. Still Doku, two Brentford players around him. Can he get the cross in? Twisting, turning. He's pushed out towards the far side, Doku, and in the end I think he has got a corner as it comes off of Coyote. Doku once more, I think he wanted a free kick as he went down. I think he just lost his footing though, to be fair, but the ball certainly did come off for the Brentford players, so it will be a corner for City, and once again they go short. Here's Doku. Down towards the byline. Can he cut this ball back this time? Can he get the ball right? Haaland! It's cleared off the line. Can City put the ball in? No, they can't, and it just harmlessly goes through to Kelleher in the end. But he finally got the ball right there, Doku, down towards the byline. Rushes down towards the byline. Cuts it back. Haaland with the shot. And it hits the legs of Kelleher, and he grabs it at the second attempt before a City player can put the rebound in. The City player that was almost there was actually Ake, who did get a little touch to it. But all he did is just touch it towards Kelleher. Long ball forward now for Brentford. That's going to go all the way through to Donnarumma. Now it's Ake. Still goalless here at the Etihad. 28 minutes on the clock. City have stepped it up the last 10 minutes or so. Brentford had a good spell before that. But City, you feel, getting closer. Now Semenyo, he's going to have another run down this right-hand side. Down towards the byline. Last time he went with that cross for Erling Haaland. There's the cross again. And that one's looped over the crossbar, but it's taken a flick off of the defender, so it'll be a corner for City. Now let's see what City do here. They've had 3 corners already. They've taken them all short. Bernardo Silva. I wonder whether Bernardo Silva might just swing one in from this near side, left-footed. Semenyo is there if he wants to go for the short one, because the ex-Bournemouth man has just come towards this near side. Bernardo Silva with 2 arms up in the air. I think he's going to play this one in. The Portuguese steps up now. In it comes. And Brentford get it clear. City win it back, though, edge of the penalty area. Reinders back out to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva cuts onto his left foot. He's making space for the shot. And, oh, my goodness me, into Rosette. From the furious Portuguese. Slams the ground. He worked the space brilliantly on the edge of the penalty area onto his left foot. Blazed it into the south stand. Goal kick for Brentford. It's just not happening in front of goal at the moment for Manchester City. And Pep Guardiola, you can see, cuts a frustrated figure on that touchline. Brentford playing out from the back. Got to be careful here, playing out from the back. And Haaland nearly grabbed the ball. Really poor from Brentford playing out from the back. They've gifted it straight back to Manchester City. Now can they take advantage? Doku, left-hand side of the D. It's half cleared towards Bernardo Silva. Now to Yanni Reinders. Out to Semenyo, right-hand corner of the penalty area. Is he working space for the shot? Goes in between 2 Brentford players. It's half cleared. Cherky then with the back heel, back out towards the right side of the penalty area. Reinders steadies himself. There's the cross. Doesn't reach the head of Semenyo. Headed clear out towards the far side. Manchester City have a throw in. Brentford have got to be careful, though, playing out from the back. Really sloppy from the Aya, giving the ball away. Manchester City not really taking advantage, though. The throw in is taken. Nico O'Reilly finds Ake. Back to O'Reilly again over on the far side. Then plays it down the line, but he's put it out of play. So it'll be a Brentford throw in. Level with the edge of their own penalty area down their right-hand side. I just wonder if there'll be much more playing out from the back from Brentford after that latest mistake. Coyote goes long, but I think the ball had already gone out of play. Indeed it has. He took one touch and then went to kick it long down the line. But the Italian had already strayed out of play. So Manchester City have a throw in midway inside the Brentford half down the City left. And it's going to be another throw in exactly the same position because it's come off of Thiago. It'll be taken by Nico O'Reilly. Throws it back inside his own half. Here's Ake. Ake finds Matheus Nunes inside the centre circle. Takes it towards the right-hand side of the centre circle and then goes long looking for Haaland. There's the header clear. And Brentford can't keep the ball in play, though. Poor touch by Yarmoliuk over on the far side. The Ukrainian just looked to ghost around Tijani Reinders, but couldn't keep the ball in play. So City with a throw-in again. Midway inside the Brentford half, down the City left. City had 21 touches inside the Brentford penalty area to Brentford's 1. It's Bernardo Silva, left-hand corner of the penalty area. Leaves it for Cherki. Cherki clips it in, and that'll be a simple save, simple catch from Kelleher. And Kelleher just clipped his own player actually as he went to grab that ball, and it's Lewis Potter who's gone down, and we all know how seriously head injuries are taken these days, so I think the trainer might well come on just to check on keen Lewis Potter. He just went to grab the ball, Kelleher, and it's quite a nasty one actually as he jumps in the air. His knee hits keen Lewis Potter flush in the forehead. It's quite a nasty one actually. 13 minutes to half time here at the Etihad. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. It's not been a classic, and a draw really is not a great scoreline for either side, because the end goal for both of these sides, well, for Manchester City, it's obviously to close the gap at the top of the table on Arsenal, and at the moment the gap will be 4 points rather than 2 if they win this game. And for Brentford, of course, they're trying to close the gap on 6th place Bournemouth. Well, again, at the moment this will be 3 points with a draw, whereas if they can win this game, they'll only be a point behind the Cherries in that 6th place that could well end up with a Champions League qualification. So there's a lot of things that have got to happen, obviously, for that to take place. Aston Villa, who do have the chance, of course, to leapfrog Liverpool into 4th tomorrow. And they've got a game at Burnley, and you'd expect them to win that, Villa, let's be honest. In fact, a draw would be enough, I think. And no, it wouldn't. I'd tell a lie. It would put them level with Liverpool, but Liverpool have got a superior goal difference to the Villains, so it put them 59 points. But a win for Villa would put them up to 61, and they'd be a couple of points clear of Liverpool with 2 games to go. And it's not just qualification, of course, for the Champions League. We know the top 5 is guaranteed qualification, but it's money as well, of course, the higher up the table you finish. Game gets underway again. Long ball forward for Brentford. That's dealt with by Reinders. Back to Donnarumma. Edge of his 6-yard area. Low ball out towards Ake. Keen Lewis Porter's okay, by the way. Trainer did come on to check on him. All sorted. Sloppy one from City. That one's dealt with by Hickey. That towards the edge of his penalty area. The square ball by Collins to Aya. And Aya out to Coyote. Coyote back to Aya once more. He's going to turn and go back to Kelleher. Kelleher on the right-hand side of his penalty area. Still insistent on playing out from the back here. Brentford, after what happened earlier, where they nearly committed suicide. He goes out towards Coyote again over on that far side. Manchester City doing well to push up. They're going to have to go long here. And again, Brentford just giving the ball straight back to Manchester City. Sloppy. Can Doku take advantage? Left-hand side of the penalty area. Square. Here's an opportunity for Cherki. Gets the shot away. That one's blocked. And Brentford can't get out at the moment. Manchester City will come again. They're working down the right side this time. Semenyo. Infield it goes towards Ake. In the end it reaches. Now Cherki. Reinders again getting a shot in. Every time he gets a half a sight of goal, the Dutchman, he goes for goal. Doku, left-hand side of the penalty area. We've seen this movie before. Is he going to go down towards the byline? Just holds it up. 2 Brentford players around him. Knocks it back to Reinders. He's going to get a shot in again, Reinders. No, just holds it up and then goes back to Ake. Back out to Doku again. The overlap is there, but Doku has overdone it. The ball's gone out. Well, it's gone for a corner. It looks certain the ball had gone out. From where I was sitting, it looked certain that ball was played down towards the byline for Nathan Ake, that it had already gone beyond the goal line for a goal kick. But in the end, it was put out by Brentford, and it's actually been given as a corner. City once more goes short. Scooped in by Doku, and Bernardo Silva overruns it, and it goes behind. It does go for a goal kick on this occasion. And Bernardo Silva's just getting involved needlessly there with Nathan Collins. A little bit of frustration. Guay and Nico Riley get involved as well. It's come to nothing in the end, and the referee has simmered things. And there'll be a goal kick to Brentford, 9 minutes to half time. Bernardo Silva, of course, is the Manchester City captain, and as is Nathan Collins as well. Well, the yellow card's been given. Has that been given to Bernardo Silva? Just looking at a replay of it, the ball goes out, Bernardo Silva goes down, and he just sort of takes a swipe at Nathan Collins. It's just petty, really, from Bernardo Silva. Just sort of strikes him. He's on the floor at the time, and he does punch him. There's absolutely no denying that. If he punched him higher up on the body, he's going to be sent off for that. He's punched him on the leg. And he's gone in the yellow. He's gone in the book for that one. First yellow card of the afternoon. Bernardo Silva. Referee is Michael Salisbury from Lancashire. Frustration, I think, more than anything else from Bernardo Silva. Manchester City haven't really got going, despite all this possession that they've had. They've not really carved open a clear opportunity. They've had 11 shots on goal, now 68% possession, although their XG is up to 0.88, and it's mainly because of this man, Jeremy Doku. Goes back to Gueye. Now Nunes. Low ball out towards this near side again. Semenyo is level with the edge of the penalty area. Still Anton Semenyo. Low ball across the edge of the 18-yard line. It's scooped in. It's not a particularly good ball by Matheus Nunes. And again, Brentford just not clearing their lines, edge of the penalty area. Manchester City want a free kick, and they'll get a free kick here as Doku goes down. Thiago, I think it was Igor Thiago, desperate to win the ball back, brings Doku down. He didn't need a second invitation to go down there, Doku. But it was a mistake by Thiago because he could have cleared the ball initially, and he wanted too many touches on the edge of his own penalty area. That allowed Doku to get in and steal the ball, and then he stepped on the Belgians' toes. Free kick then to Manchester City. This is probably their biggest and best opportunity so far this afternoon, because it's a free kick about 30 yards from goal, just to left of centre. And Manchester City have got plenty of quality on the field for a set piece in a position like this. Kelleher is arranging his wall. So we've got Cherky. Well, I've already said about Reinders. I mean, he fancies a shot anyway. You guarantee right now Tiani Reinders is saying, I'll take this one. But thus far, the Dutchman has not got his shooting boots on, because I don't think any player has attempted more shots so far than Tiani Reinders. Semenyo is there as well. Now, can Manchester City find a breakthrough here? 7 minutes to half-time. In a fairly lacklustre first half here at the Etihad, with the crowd very, very quiet. It's either going to be Cherky or Reinders. Reinders worked away. It's either going to be Cherky or Semenyo, I should say. Well, before that all happens, the referee's not happy with something, not entirely sure what. It's either going to be Semenyo or Cherky. I think it's going to be Cherky. Cherky, right-footed, hits the wall, cleared out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Doku picks up the pieces. Still Doku gets the ball in his right foot, working space for the shot, and then loops it well over the bar towards our right-hand side. Did it take a deflection? It certainly did. It'll be another corner to Manchester City. They're totting up these corners, City. 6 minutes to half-time, still goalless. They've gone short again. Here's Semenyo. Semenyo goes back towards Cherky, and now Nunes on the halfway line. Now Bernardo Silva cuts inside. This is nice from Bernardo Silva. He's going to get the cross in. Twisting, turning. No, he goes up to Semenyo, right side of the penalty area. Semenyo, he's twisting, turning now on the right side of the penalty area. Then overruns it slightly. Pushed out towards this near side. You feel like he's almost missed the opportunity there, Semenyo, to get the ball in play. He has one to throw in, though, next to the corner flag. Finds Bernardo Silva. Poor first touch by the Portuguese. And Bournemouth and Brighton. I've called them every B team in the every team beginning with B in the Premier League there. And ball forward, and that's gone through for a goal kick to Brentford. Not Brighton and not Bournemouth, but they are the three teams battling for that sixth place at the moment, which is getting very, very confusing. It really is. 5 minutes to half-time, still goalless. Man City, Brentford, as it stands. There's a long way to go, isn't there? As it stands, Manchester City will close the gap on Arsenal, but they'll only close the gap to 4 points with 3 games to go, which means Arsenal would not need to win all their games to guarantee the title anymore, of course. Ball is loose inside the Brentford half. Can City come away with it? Nico O'Reilly takes up a central position and cushions the header out to Bernardo Silva, who then finds Doku. Doku is just going to keep coming down this left-hand side for Manchester City. So far, it's not ended with a goal. Down towards the byline he goes. Brilliant from him. And again, he can't find a blue shirt when he plays it in. He does that run time and time again, Doku. And every time he just picks out a Brentford player. On this occasion, he picked out Matheus Jensen in the penalty area. It's put out a play by Jensen. Throw it to City, level with the edge of the penalty area. But we've seen that run time and time again from Doku. It's superb the way he just injects the pace suddenly. He's almost at walking pace, Doku, and then suddenly puts the afterburners on. And down towards the byline he went. Tried to cut the ball back. 2 or 3 City players in that penalty area waiting for the cutback. And Matheus Jensen is the man that he finds And Brentford managed to get it clear. We haven't seen Brentford, as far as an attacking sense goes, for a long time. They have played a long ball forward now down the right side. Thiago will chase. Guay is underneath it, and Guay is going to head it out of play. So it's a Brentford throw. Thiago's not happy with something, though. I'm not entirely sure what. Well, I'll tell you what, the fact that he's given a free kick, it had gone out for a Brentford throw, but the referee felt that Guay was pushed as he headed it out of play. And here come Manchester City. Run from Cherki, that's put out of play. Throw into City, level with the edge of the penalty area down the right-hand side. Cherki takes a quick one, goes all the way back to Nunes on the halfway line. 3 minutes to half-time. Bernardo Silva now, just outside the centre circle. Square to Ake. City got the breakthrough against Everton, didn't they, just before half-time? It was this man now on the ball who got it, Jeremy Doku. Can he do the same? Doku, can he get the ball right this time? No, he can't. And it'll be cleared by Brentford down their right-hand side through Coyote. And then Jensen clears long towards Thiago, but that's dealt with by Ake, who knocks it back to Guay, just to the left of the centre circle. Mark Guay finds Ake. Ake just over the halfway line, leaves it for Nico O'Reilly. A little bit of encouragement from the Manchester City supporters now. We've heard very little of that in this first half. It's been like a library in this first half. It really is. Still a lot of empty seats around as well. Not as empty it was at start of play. There were loads of empty seats around when kickoff happened. Actually, as the half has gone on, those blue seats have been filling up. Here's Ake, and he's going to go all the way back to Donnarumma, just on the left-hand corner of his penalty area. Finds Guay just outside the D. Now Nunes. Nunes does well. Beautiful turn as well around Mikkel Damsgaard. Now City are in business here. Here's Reinders. He's going to go for the shot. Reinders, can he get it right this time? No, he can't. It hits the defender. Comes back, though, to Semenyo. Menyo gets the shot in. That one's blocked as well, and Brentford can clear down their left-hand side. Good work by Keane. Lewis Potter draws the foul from Semenyo. Right next to the corner flag. Free kick to Brentford. More frustration for Manchester City. Reinders was the one who had the space on the edge of the penalty area to get the shot in. His shot was blocked by Christopher Raya. Came back to Semenyo. He got the shot in first time. That one was blocked. Cleared out towards his near side. And Lewis Potter does well. Just draws the foul. Invites the foul, really, from Anton Semenyo. Free kick then for Brentford in their left back position. Kelleher to take it. The man in pink is going to go long, right-footed. Mark Guay's there with a header. A little bit of head tennis on the halfway line. Cherki completely misses the ball, and Brentford have it. Looped over the top. Sharda will give chase, but Nunes is there. Donnarumma clears, cold as a cucumber, out towards Nico O'Reilly. They were hearts in mouths there for a few seconds now. Here's Cherki, turns, takes it over the halfway line, then holds it up, left-hand side of the centre circle. Finds Bernardo Silva inside the centre circle, releases it to Nunes again. Over the halfway line he comes. Manton Semenyo. We're in the last minute of the first of the 45. There'll be a couple of minutes to add on. There was that check for Lewis Potter, of course. Bernardo Silva flips one out towards the far side. Brought down on the chest by Jeremy Doku. Can lightning strike twice, and Doku gets something before half-time. There's the cross, and again he can't find anybody in a blue shirt. Cleared out towards this near side. Retrieved, though, for City. Nunes with the cross. Not a good one. And Brentford will clear. We're inside stoppage time. And that'll be a free kick again, as down goes Mikkel Damsgaard in the edge of the penalty area. Ball down by Matheus Nunes. We're in 2 minutes of stoppage time, and it looks like we're going in at the break goalless. And frustration from Pep Guardiola. City could still potentially end this season with a domestic treble, which seems quite incredible, bearing in mind the standards they've set this season compared to standards they've set in previous seasons. It's not been on that level, has it? But they've got the League Cup in the trophy cabinet. They've got an FA Cup final next weekend against Chelsea. They'll be big favourites for that one. And of course, saying that, of course, they've lost the last two FA Cup finals, and they've been big favourites to win those two as well. Crystal Palace last year, Manchester United the year before, and of course the title could still happen for them, but realistically, if this title is going to happen for them, they've got to win this game today, and they're not winning it at the moment. It's goalless as Kelleher goes long for Brentford. Last minute of stoppage time. Header clear by Guay, out of play. That's come off of Damsgaard, so it'll be thrown to City midway inside their own half down their right. Nunes will take it. Bernardo Silva on the volley. Goes long. Headed clear for Brentford. And then they go long down the centre. Nobody there in a red shirt. And Bernardo Silva tidies it up and goes back to Donnarumma inside the D. And Donnarumma's going to clip it out towards that left-hand side. Nice ball actually from the Italian. It's going to reach Nico O'Reilly. And then Doku just overruns it, does he? He gets the throw and it's come off of a Brentford player. Last chance of the first half here for Manchester City. About 15 seconds of stoppage time. Cherki has it in the inside left position, midway inside the Brentford half. Now Nico O'Reilly holds it up. Looks left, looks right, doesn't quite know what to do with it here, Nico O'Reilly. Leaves it for Ake in the end. We've played the 2 minutes of stoppage time. Cherki now making his way inside the penalty area, overruns it. Brentford get it clear. And that's the half-time whistle. An uneventful first 45. And at the moment, neither team are getting the job done or getting what they need to do. Manchester City really need the 3 points to keep the title race alive. Brentford really need the 3 points to keep their hopes of Champions League qualification alive. But at half-time, both teams are dropping 2 points as it stands. It's Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. We're back in 15 minutes for the second half. Welcome back to the Etihad Stadium here in the East of Manchester, half-time in this 5:30 p.m. Premier League kick-off. It's Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. City bossing possession, but they haven't been able to find a way through the Brentford rearguard thus far. Jeremy Doku has been the danger man for City down the left-hand side. Just hasn't quite had that final ball or that finish. Tiana Reinders has had a few goes as well. Many shots towards goal. But there's still not been that big opportunity thus far for Manchester City. So a game that City have to win, really, to keep the title race alive. Half-time, game gets off underway in this second half. City playing from right to left, attacking the north stand towards our left-hand side. Our referee is Michael Salisbury. City in the sky blue shirts and socks, white shorts. Brentford in the early ball through, though. This could be interesting. The ball through from Doku towards Nico Riley, but it's got too much on it. Goes all the way through to Kelleher. Brentford in the red and white striped shirts, black shorts. And playing from left to right in this second half, the black shorts and the black socks. And the lineups are as follows. City got Donnarumma in goal, back four from left to right, Nico Riley, Ake, Gueye and Nunes. Holding midfield, Bernardo Silva and Tiani Reinders, Semenyo on the right, Doku on the left, Cherki off of Haaland for the visitors, Kelleher in goal. The back four of Lewis Potter, Collins, Ayer and Coyote. Holding in midfield, Matthias Jensen and Yarmalovic, Schade on the left, Hickey on the right, Damsgaard off at Igor Thiago. We've got the two top scorers in the Premier League on show this afternoon, Haaland and Thiago. On the benches for City, Aït-Nouri, Diaz, Foden, Kovacic, Marmoush, Gonzalez, Savinho, John Stones and Trafford. And for the visitors, De Silva, Furo, Henderson, Janelt, Nelson, Ouattara, Pinnock, Vandenberg and Valdemarson. Doku again. Can he get this through to Cherki? Drags it wide of the goalkeeper's right post. It was a chance. It was a half chance. Did well there, Doku, on that occasion. Ball at the right-hand side of the penalty area. Found Cherki. His first touch is nice. And then he drags it well wide, right-footed, off the goalkeeper's right-hand post, low. And Kelleher just watched it fizz wide. Goal kick for Brentford as Brentford go long. They had about a 10-minute period in the first half. They looked quite good, Brentford. Looks as if they might be able to hurt Manchester City. But they've been quiet since then going forward. Now here's an opportunity down this right side with Keane Lewis Potter. Nunes does well to prevent the corner and then finds Gueye. Gueye goes down, just draws the foul from Igor Thiago, who's not happy with the decision, but it's a free kick to Manchester City to the right of their penalty area. And City getting on with it, but almost losing possession there as Nico Riley sold a little bit short. Manages to knock it back though to Ake on the edge of his penalty area. Now it's Bernardo Silva. Portuguese, Schade and Thiago ahead of him. Goes out towards the right-hand side, just over the halfway line. Step over from Cherki, continues his run down the right side. This is good. Back heel, back to Semenyo. It was a little bit too heavy. Goes back to Semenyo in the end, but he has to rush back to get it. Goes back out to Cherki, right-hand side of the penalty area. Semenyo provides the overlap. Right corner of the penalty area, back to Nunes. Nunes finds Bernardo Silva just outside the D, back to goal, goes back out to Nunes, and then eventually it works its way back out to Cherki again, looking to take on Keane Lewis Potter. Ball on his left foot, twisting, turning. Can he get the ball into the box? Surely he's got to. Still holds it up and then pokes it down towards Semenyo, but it's got too much on it. It's behind for a goal kick. Loads of empty seats at the start of the second half here at the Etihad. 3 minutes played. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. If it were to stay the same, then Manchester City would be on 72 points. 4 behind Arsenal, and Brentford would be on 52, which would leave them 3 behind Bournemouth in that 6th place that could provide European Champions League football. Long ball forward now for Brentford, headed clear out towards the far side. Brentford will get a throw in just inside the Manchester City half. And Brentford in no hurry to take it. It'll be Keane Lewis Potter eventually who will pick up the ball over on the touchline. City unbeaten here since they lost to Tottenham right at the beginning of the season. Since then they've won 12 and drawn 3. As Brentford play it back inside their own half. A little bit of space now, just inside the centre circle for Jensen. Does well out towards the near side it goes. And that's going to be a foul there for a challenge by Nico O'Reilly on Michael Coyote. Just the one yellow card to tell you about so far, and that was Bernardo Silva. Petulant sort of slap on the leg of the Brentford defender, who was Nathan Collins. So free kick for Brentford just inside the City half, a few yards infield from the right-hand touchline. And looks like it's going to be taken by Matthias Jensen. The Manchester City defensive line is, it must be a good 35 yards plus from goal. And in the end, after all that, Brentford just goes short down the right-hand side. Here's Jensen again, plays it into the penalty area. Oh, it almost came through there towards Christopher Ajer, of all people, who was forward. Donnarumma then tries to release one quick for Manchester City. Plays it straight to a Brentford player, but good work by Cherki to win the ball back over on the far side for City. Semenyo's made the run down the right-hand side now. This is promising for City. Anton Semenyo, level with the edge of the penalty area down the right-hand side. Cuts inside the penalty area. There's a cheeky little back heel towards Cherki. He's just outnumbered in the end there, Cherki. Brentford have got it clear. Just wanted too many touches inside the penalty area, Cherki, more than anything else. And Brentford can clear down their left-hand side. I do wonder whether Brentford might go for it a little bit more in this second half, particularly as the game goes on. It's not a terrible result for them, a point here, but if the game is tight and it is there to be won, it will be huge for their hopes of qualifying for the Champions League. Ball up towards the halfway line. Here's Thiago, out towards the left-hand side. This is promising for Brentford. They've got plenty forward on this occasion. There's the overlap left-hand side of the penalty area for Jensen, down towards Thiago. Thiago down towards the byline, just holds off Guay, who pushes him out of the penalty area, but still has possession, and then plays it out towards that far side again. Lewis Potter. There's the ball down towards the byline. Now, can they get the ball into the box here? It's held up by Damsgaard. Just pushed back by Guay. City have got it clear, but straight to a red and white shirt over on the far side. Good little spell this for Brentford, start of the second half. Could help City, actually, if they can steal the ball back here, because Brentford have got players forward here, which they've had reluctance to do so far. Ball into the box towards Thiago, and that's going to go behind for a corner. No, it's not, because it's going to be a free kick. It came off of Ake, but the referee, I think, saw a push from Thiago on Ake, which resulted in the Dutchman putting the ball out for what we initially thought was a corner, but it'll be a free kick to Manchester City. That ball, by the way, through that lovely ball that was played through to Christopher Ajer, just couldn't get his toes on the end of it. I think he would have been offside anyway, just looking at a replay of it. I think he just strayed following that free kick for Brentford. So City with possession. Guay bringing it forward towards the halfway line. 7 minutes played at the start of the second half. City 0, Brentford 0. Now Semenyo. I think it goes to Nunes, just to the right of the centre circle for City. Back out to Semenyo again. Brentford as compact and organised as ever. Ake, he's going to scoop it long down that left-hand side, Ake, but it's going to have too much on it. And it's going to go out of play for a goal kick. Nico O'Reilly will chase it, but Nico O'Reilly isn't going to get on the end of that one. And he gave a little push on Coyote, who's gone down. He didn't need a second invitation to go down, to be fair. Did the Italian, the referee, having a word with Nico O'Reilly. Nothing more. Goal kick to Brentford, who are playing from left to right in this second half, attacking the south stand towards our right-hand side. And you wonder how long it'll be before certainly Pep Guardiola thinks about a change or two. Phil Foden, of course, on the bench. Kovacic, Marmouche, Savinho. Plenty of experience, plenty of big names, big money names as well. Scoot down the line for Brentford. Sharda gets a little flick on. Good defending from Mark Guay, actually getting his foot in there before Sharda could get the return ball. Down the line it goes now for Semenyo. Does well to keep the ball in play. Just inside the Brentford half. Plays it back inside his own half to Guay. Square to his left-hand side of Bernardo Silva. He's going to find Nathan Ake, who's on the left-hand side of the centre circle. Brings it over the halfway line. Doku in acres of space. It appeared to be the tactic in the first half for Manchester City was very much give it to Doku and hope for the best, because he was the man who was continually getting the ball down the left-hand side. But City appeared to be working it out towards the right-hand side more at the start of this second. Here is Semenyo again. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Working space for the shot. Gets the shot in, and it flies into the north stand. Goal kick for Brentford. You can't say they haven't been shot shy this afternoon, Manchester City. They've had so many shots, and the majority of them have ended up in the stands. That was their 16th shot of the afternoon. 6 of them, I should say, on target. And the latest is from Semenyo as Brentford play out from the back. Only caused them one problem in the first half when City stole possession back but didn't take advantage. Nice ball forward towards Hickey. Hickey floats one out towards this near side. Good run being made down this right-hand side as well by Coyote. Coyote on it, goes towards Thiago's inside the penalty area. This is a chance. Still Thiago gets the shot in, saved and put behind by Guay for the corner. Biggest chance of the game so far for Brentford. Thiago looking to add to his 25 goals this season. It wasn't the greatest for shots, I'll be honest. Just looking at a replay, he's definitely onside. He gets beyond Mark Guay. It's a tight angle. He tries to beat Donnarumma at the near post. Donnarumma makes a bit of a hash of it, sort of steals it. I think he should have held it, really. And Guay helps him out by pushing it behind. And this is Brentford's first corner of the afternoon. Manchester City already up on 6. But that's the threat that they can pose. I think Thiago might have been better going across the goalkeeper there. He certainly knows what he's doing with his 25 goals this season in all competitions. Only Erling Haaland has scored more goals in the Premier League than the Brazilian. Corner then for Brentford. From this near side, the Brentford right is going to be a right-footed outswinger from Matheus Jensen. And it comes now towards the far post. Headed clear and then volley clear by the yellow boots of Cherki. Doku will give chase. That'll be cleared up and volleyed clear down the right-hand side for Brentford. Now it's Bernardo Silva. Can he keep the ball in play? And he loses it to Jensen. Now Jensen is going to clip it in towards Thiago. Thiago will give chase. Can he keep that ball in play? He can. On the right-hand side, the left-hand side of the penalty area. Needs some support here, Thiago. A couple of step-overs. Knocks it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Cross towards the far post. That's an awful cross from the left-hand side. I think it was Lewis Potter with the ball in, which sails over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. 11 minutes played at the start of the second half. Still Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. It was poor from Bernardo Silva. Losing possession to Jensen. Jensen kills it towards the edge of the penalty area. It's not a great ball actually from Jensen. It forces Thiago really wide. Brentford have it again. Couldn't spell this for Keith Andrews' men at the start of the second. And that's going to be a free kick as well for a foul by Anton Semenyo. A little bit of frustration there. So free kick to Brentford, midway inside the City half, few yards infield from the left-hand touchline. And maybe Keith Andrews can sense something here. Damsgaard is behind the free kick. City are readying changes, one of which is going to be Phil Foden, I can see being readied on the touchline, as well as the Egyptian Omar Marmoush. Free kick then, City's defensive line just outside the D. Are they going to whip this one in this side, Brentford? Because the last time they just went short and nothing really came of it. They are indeed. So in it comes. City get it clear towards the edge of the penalty area. A bit of pinball on the edge of the penalty area, and then City clear out towards the far side. Retrieved by Jensen. Jensen scoops it down the line. And Damsgaard gives chase and gets it. Does really well. Damsgaard gets the cross in, but he's offside. Free kick to Manchester City in their right back position. And what's going on here? Donnarumma is out of his goal, complaining about something. City free kick them. No panic yet for Manchester City. They've still got well over 30 minutes to try and find this precious goal. But certainly as the game ticks on, if it does remain goalless, then you might feel some desperation. Here's Doku, central inside the Brentford half, pushed back by Schade. Finds Nunez. Nunez onto Semenyo over on that far side for Manchester City. Heading towards the hour mark, still goalless. Semenyo now, that's a nice ball. Cherki again wants too many touches inside the penalty area, gets the ball in the end. Schade heads it clear straight to Semenyo. Semenyo's working space for the shot, finds Doku just outside the D. Now Doku, is he going to get the ball in? Nico O'Reilly can't get the ball out from under his feet. Again, he wanted too many touches, and Brentford go long. Now Thiago will give chase, and it'll go all the way through in the end to Donnarumma. They will offer that threat on the break, Brentford. Just feels like the game's just opening up a little bit. Now, here's Reinders. He's been quiet at the start of the second half. Finds Doku, left-hand side of the penalty area. And Doku provide the magic for City. Down towards the byline he goes. And it's cut out and put behind. It'll be a Manchester City corner. Their 7th of the afternoon. In the 60th minute, Bernardo Silva comes across towards this near side. City have tended to go short with these corners so far this afternoon, but Guay and Ake are up awaiting quality delivery. But before all that, City are making a couple of changes then, and Omar Marmoush and local boy Phil Foden are going to come on. Reinders and Cherki are the two that are being replaced. Been in good form recently, Ryan Cherki, but we've seen very little of him this afternoon. Reinders, well, he's not been shot shy, certainly, but unfortunately for him, most of his shots have ended up in the back row. Short corner again from City. Bernardo Silva to Doku. City attacking the north stand. And Doku. Now Doku, is it going to open up for Doku? Curls it in, he's done it again. Jeremy Doku is on a hot streak at the moment, and he's done exactly what he did against Everton a few days ago, and he's curled Manchester City into the lead on the hour. It was always going to come from Doku. He has been the danger man for Manchester City, and it just opened up for him on the left-hand side of the penalty area, and he curls it beyond Kelleher. And finally, on the hour mark, Manchester City have the lead here at the Etihad. It's Manchester City 1, Brentford 0. And it's Doku again. 2 against Everton. And he's got another one this afternoon. It's another beauty as well. He doesn't score tap-ins, Jeremy Doku. They go short with the corner. Bernardo Silva to Doku. Holds it up. Tries to find Bernardo Silva again. It's half cleared by Damsgaard, but he just plays it straight to Doku. And Doku didn't need a second invitation. He kills it to the top corner. It's a lovely finish from the Belgian. It really is. And it's the first time, really, that Brentford have kind of switched off at the back following that short corner. Manchester City have taken so many short corners this afternoon, but on this occasion, they get it right. A little bit of fortune as the ball deflected back to Doku when his pass towards Bernardo Silva didn't find him. But it's a brilliant finish from the Belgian, and City have a priceless lead here as they look to close the gap at the top of the table to 2 points. Manchester City 1, Brentford 0. Just after City made those 2 changes, Tijani Reinders and Ryan Cherky, or Phil Foden and Omar Marmoush are on. Brentford have got a throw in midway inside the City half. Interesting to see how the dynamics of this game change now, because Brentford have got to come out of it more. Throw in there midway inside the City half down the left. It's going to be the long one again that we've seen on a couple of occasions already. And Jan Hickey, there's been a change, by the way. Aaron Hickey has gone off. Jan is on. Long throw comes in. Still loose inside that Manchester City penalty area. Comes off of Ake. It's still loose. Donnarumma comes for it and gets there before Sharda. So change then right after the goal for Brentford. Aaron Hickey. Sharda's still down injured, and so the referee's not going to allow Manchester City to clear this ball. The change just after the goal. Aaron Hickey has been replaced by Vitali Janel, the German, who turns 28 tomorrow. Can he come on and get an early birthday present by trying to get Brentford back into this game? Trailing by a goal to nil. And what that would mean is that Brentford would stay on 51 points, 4 behind Bournemouth with just 4 games to go. For Manchester City, this will put them back to 74 points. They know they've got to win all their remaining games now to stand a chance of winning this title. All they can do now is win these remaining games, and they're going the right way about it now with this goal from the man who got them out of jail, really, didn't he? Up the hill, Dickinson, with that goal right at the end to get that 3-3 draw. It was the result Manchester City wanted. They wanted the 3 points to keep the title in their own hands, of course. But at least they picked up a point rather than a defeat, which it was heading to until Doku got that very, very late equaliser in stoppage time. Here's Anton Semenyo. There's the cross, and it's grabbed easily at the near post by Kelleher. So they've got 27 minutes here, Brentford. They've only lost 1 of their last 8 Premier League games, Brentford, but that was also in Manchester, because they lost at Old Trafford by 2-1. As the ball goes back to Kelleher, who kicks long, left-footed out towards the far side. Headed back towards the edge of the penalty area, but that'll be volleyed clear by Nathan Collins down the centre. He's got far too much on that, though, and Donnarumma will just backpedal and allow the ball to go back into his penalty area so we can pick it up. The Italian bowls it out to Gueye. Gueye pokes it out towards the far side, over the halfway line by Nunez towards Semenyo. Back to Nunez again. Nunez square to Ake. Ake back in the side this afternoon. Brings the ball over the halfway line to the left of the centre circle for Manchester City. Now Bernardo Silva. 1-2 between himself and Ake. Then gives it back to the Dutchman, who releases Nico O'Reilly down this near side. Doku, the man of the moment. Now Doku, still Doku. Can he slip one through towards Nico O'Reilly? No, he can't. And Brentford can get it clear. Knocked out towards his near side. Poor first touch though. Sloppy more than anything else from Yarmaloy. Gives the ball straight back to Manchester City. Comes out to Doku. Almost level with the edge of the penalty area. Infield it goes to Nico O'Reilly. Bernardo Silva now back to goal just outside the D. Finds Nunes. Phil Foden gets his first touch off the bench over on the far side and just knocks it over towards Semenyo. Semenyo with a run down the right side. This is good. Back to Foden. Can he get the ball out from under his feet? No, he can't. And Brentford can clear down their left-hand side. City hunting back in numbers. Ball goes out of play. That'll be a Brentford throw-in. Middle inside the City half down the Brentford left-hand side. They go back towards the edge of their 18-yard line. Here's Collins. Just the one change thus far for Brentford, and that was Aaron Hickey coming off of Vitaly Janol. Here's Ayer just outside the D, and it goes to Jensen. Jensen with two City players around him. Looks like he's going to knock it out towards his near side, which he does as well, and down the low it goes from Coyote. It's not a particularly good ball, and tied up by Ake back to Donnarumma. Donnarumma low ball out to Mark Guay, right hand corner of the penalty area. The ex-Palace man knocks it on towards Semenyo, just shy of the halfway line. Goes back down the line towards Guay. Closed down by Sharda, and then goes back to Donnarumma inside the D. Low ball out to Ake. Ake's got Nico O'Reilly just making his way over the halfway line down this left-hand side. Had a super second half of the season. Nico O'Reilly really pushed himself into the England picture, hasn't he, for that left-back position. Here's Doku. Thought about the cross, thinks better of it, but then still advances towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. He could put the afterburners on at any stage, Doku. He really could. He's the working space for the shot again, Doku. Across the edge of the 18-yard line it goes. Goes back out to Nico O'Reilly. Now Bernardo Silva. Might fall for Doku again. Left-hand side of the D. It does. So intricate from Manchester City. It still might come for Doku. Chance for 2-0. There's the shot saved. It was Phil Foden. Good save by Kelleher. Has kept Brentford in the game there, I feel. Just broke beautifully for Foden as Jensen clears long. Headed on by Thiago. City deal with it though. Nunes will draw the foul. So free kick to Manchester City. The foul by Vitaly Janol. Midway point in the second half. And Phil Foden so close to making it 2. They want the second here, City. They don't want any late jitters. Here's Doku infield to Bernardo Silva. Goes back out to Doku again. Left-hand corner of that penalty area. Nico O'Reilly's there for the overlap. He needs it. Doku, is he working space for the shot again? No, he leaves it for Nico O'Reilly on this occasion. Back to the Belgian again. Single-handedly keeping Manchester City in this title race, it seems, doesn't it? Bernardo Silva. There's the challenge over on the far side, and Brentford can bring the ball away. Can Sharda control it? Nunes is there, goes out of play, but that'll be a throw-in, a free kick, I should say, because he's brought down Matheus Nunes by Sharda as he fell over and the ball glanced off of him. Free kick to City, just inside their own half. Well, Brentford tried to clear out from the back, and it was a little bit too intricate from them on the edge of the penalty area. Need somebody to just put their foot through it. And in the end, the ball fell kindly for Phil Foden, about 10 yards out, poked it towards goal. His change for Brentford, by the way, Damsgaard is going to come off. And he's going to be replaced by Dango Ouattara with just over 20 minutes left for play. Here's Erling Haaland. He can't control it. Just outside the centre circle. He's been quiet today, Erling Haaland, though we've said that on many occasions. He still puts the ball in the back of the net, doesn't he? Here's Ouattara, first touch, just shy of the halfway line. And draws the foul from Jeremy Doku. So free kick to Brentford, just shy of the halfway line. Can the man with the name Dango on the back of his shirt provide some magic for Brentford to get them back into this game? They were just having a good little spell, actually, Brentford, before Manchester City did score. They're not really creating a great deal. They just that one big opening they've had, that Thiago shot, which is saved at the near post by Donnarumma. That was about 5 minutes before Jeremy Doku opened the scoring. Here's Semenyo in a defensive position, right inside of his own penalty area. Clears long, left-footed. Haaland, can he hold it up? No, he can't. He's had difficulty doing that today, Erling Haaland. Here's Jensen inside the centre circle. Pokes it out towards this near side. Here's Ouattara. Now he's got Sharda ahead of him. just holds it up. What Brentford got left in them in the last 20 minutes or so. They've been on a really good run of late. Atara again down this near side, held up by Nico O'Reilly. Goes back inside his own half. Here's Collins. Sweeps it over towards Lewis Potter. Down the line it goes. City fans just trying to encourage their side at the moment. I certainly don't want to see them sitting back for the next 20 minutes trying to hold on to this 1-0 lead. See what happened against Everton, of course, when they were so comfortable leading by a goal to nil. They really were. Nobody saw that coming. Everton scoring 3 times in about a quarter of an hour to turn that game around. After City were so comfortable, but it just shows when there's a 1-goal lead how precarious that can be. Ball back with Kelleher. Again, Brentford happy to play out from the back. Jensen goes back towards the left-back position. Nathan Collins, they don't look like a team at the moment that look intent on putting the pedal to the metal at the moment. Brentford trying to find this equaliser. They've got possession, but it's all inside their own half. Not doing a great deal with it. Here's Christopher Ayer. Low ball right footed out towards his near side. Here's a chance for Atara. Over the halfway line it goes. Ball with the outside of the boot. Through to Thiago. This is an opportunity. Thiago, can he get there? There's a square ball. And it's towards Schade. Claims he was brought down. I think Nunes just got there first. He went down in a bundle, the German. The ball's got out of play eventually. And it will be a throw-in. Well, no doubt they'll look at it. Thiago did the right thing. Brilliant ball forward by Atara. We might well be offside anyway, Thiago. I'm not too sure. Tried to spring the offside trap. Comes through. He plays it square towards Schade. I mean, Schade might have had the slightest of touches off Mateus Nunes, but I don't think it's a foul. And I do wonder actually whether Thiago was offside anyway as the ball was played through. There's a lot to clear up there for VAR. Bernardo Silva's just come across to speak with the referee. Referee just waving players away. And I'm just looking at another replay of it now. I mean, if he had hold of his shirt or something, you could kind of understand him going down. He just looks... The ball comes through to him. I mean, I think the legs get in a tangle. I think the legs of Nunes and Schade get in a tangle, but I don't think it's a foul, and VAR has cleared all of that up. Anyway, Doku now. He's over on the far side at the moment, the Belgian, causing havoc again. Finds Nunes. But that does show the threat that Brentford potentially can cause. City really need a second goal to put this to bed. Jeremy Doku might provide it! Oh, he kills it just wide at the goalkeeper's right-hand post. Did it take a little nick on the way through? Just popped up century there, Doku. 25 yards from goal, onto his left foot, and it did. It took a little nick off of Christopher Ayer, and it's gone behind for a Man City corner. I'm not entirely sure it was on target before the intervention from Ayer, but Manchester City will take the corner anyway. Just over 17 minutes left on the clock, and Phil Foden, who's come on as a second-half substitute. And he needs games, doesn't he? He needs games, he needs minutes at the moment, Phil Foden, but he needs to impress if he is going to get into that England squad. You've got himself and Cole Palmer, who both seem to have lost form at just the wrong time, both of them simultaneously. Ball is with Semenyo over on the far side for Manchester City. Down the line it goes. Then works centrally to Nunes. Square to Nico O'Reilly. Out to Doku, who's in the inside left position. Now Doku, a little bit more magic maybe from the Belgian. Ball on his right foot. Held up by Jensen. Back it goes to O'Reilly. He's the complete opposite, isn't he, O'Reilly? His form's just got better and better as we head towards the World Cup. And he's definitely pushing for a starting place in the Americas. Nico O'Reilly, here he is now, edge of the penalty area. Oh, he almost threaded that through. And he's going to get a yellow card now as he goes back and he pulls back Atara. That's a most blatant yellow card you'll ever see, as he tried to break clear over the halfway line. O'Reilly took one for the team there. He gets the yellow card. Free kick to Brentford, midway inside their own half. He almost threaded that one through perfectly as well to Phil Foden inside that penalty area. Cut out though by Brentford, and then as Atara tried to break, O'Reilly knew he couldn't catch up with him and grabs the Brentford substitute's shirt. Free kick then to the visitors. They go long down the left-hand side. Way is there with a header, and it's a good header as well. Infield towards Phil Foden. Now Foden inside the centre circle. Low ball out to Doku. Don't think he'll be coming off anytime soon. Doku just holds it up inside the Brentford half. Infield it goes to Bernardo Silva. Acres of space for the Portuguese. Now what can he do? Floats one out to Semenyo over on that far side. Brings the ball down beautifully. Looking to take on Lewis Potter. Down towards the byline he goes. Still Semenyo. This is superb. Can he get the ball right? Might fall for Haaland. Can he smuggle it in? Yes, he can. It's not the prettiest goal you'll ever see, but Erling Haaland has surely won the points now for Manchester City. Quarter of an hour to go. Brilliant work by Semenyo. Down towards the byline. He cuts it back, and I think Haaland gets one touch. It bobbles around inside the 6-yard area, and it just comes off the Norwegian a little bit fortuitously. He won't care about that. Pep Guardiola won't care about that. Manchester City won't care about that. They're 2 up, and they're heading for 3 points here at the Etihad, and they're going to close the gap at the top of the table to 2 points. Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. Haaland with his 37th of the season in all competitions, and that surely is the points one now. Brilliant work by Semenyo down that right-hand side. Puts the afterburners off, on down towards the byline, comes back to Haaland, 1 touch, and then 2 touches. His first touch isn't great actually, but it kind of works out for him. He almost sets himself up, and then he just sort of scuffs it with his heel, I think, beyond Kelleher. It's almost like a sort of back heel swept in. It sort of hits the goalkeeper on the way through. It's a scrappy old goal. Pep Guardiola won't give 2 hoots about that, because that's surely the goal that seals the points here at the Etihad for Manchester City. It's 14 minutes left for play. City 2, Brentford 0. Haaland with a big smile on his face. And we wondered whether Brentford would come back. That's well won by Atara on this near side. They're going to have to go for it now, aren't they, Brentford? Atara loses it to Foden and then fouls him. Is the referee going to give a free kick? Indeed he is. So free kick to City. And Foden's okay. Initially concerned for him. 26 of those 37 goals for Erling Haaland have come in the Premier League. That puts him 4 clear of the man on the other side. His opposite number, the number 9 for Brentford, Igor Thiago. He was the only one really that could have possibly beaten Haaland to yet another golden boot, but I don't think it's going to happen now. That puts him 4 clear of Thiago with only 3 games left to play after this one. Long ball forward now. O'Reilly needs to deal with it and loops it clear for City. Foden brings it down beautifully on the chest, goes back to O'Reilly, and he scoops it long left-footed, but that's going to go all the way through to Keller, who's rushing out of his goal to the right-hand side of his penalty area, then goes long right-footed down the centre. City get it clear. Sharda. What have Brentford got left in them? They're going to have to find a goal pretty quick. Looped out towards Atara down this near side. City appeal for the offside, but the game goes on. Still Atara right side of the penalty area. Down towards the byline he goes. Needs to cut the ball back. And he allows Doku to get back. Atara still has it, but he's just giving it straight to O'Reilly. Should have released the ball a lot quicker there. City clear, but straight to Jensen. Jensen, ball towards the right side of the penalty area. Cross comes in. It's a dangerous ball in as well. City deal with it. Oh, clear to the edge of the penalty area. Yarmolenko. And now picked up by the number 33, Coyote. Coyote goes back out towards this area. Atara certainly seen plenty of the ball down this right side for Brentford. There's the cross right-footed. Not a bad delivery. A little bit too much height on it. Out towards the far side, out of play. Manchester City will have a throw-in in their right-back position. Just had too much on it in the end, that cross from the right-hand side. So this is going to hurt Brentford as far as their hopes for qualifying for Europe go. Certainly that potential 6th place in Champions League qualification. Barring an unlikely late comeback, they are going to stay in 8th position with 51 points. Here's another change. Jordan Henderson is on for Yarmolenko. And City will have this throw in then in their right back position. They needed that second goal, you feel, City. They really did. And they can see this one out now, you feel, with relative ease to close that gap again. Arsenal, West Ham it is tomorrow. Despite the fact West Ham are in the bottom 3, that does feel like the most difficult of Arsenal's 3 games. As Brentford go back to the goalkeeper. Not a particularly good clearance from the goalkeeper. And City have won it with Marmouche over on the far side. He's barely touched the ball since he's come on. Well, he's won the free kick now as he draws the foul over on the far side from Christopher Ayer, who goes into the book. And believe it or not, in the 80th minute, that's the first yellow card for Brentford this afternoon. City have had a couple through Nico O'Reilly and Bernardo Silva, and that's the first for the visitors. So free kick to City. Marmoush back on his feet, walking slightly gingerly, the Egyptian. I think that might have been the first time he's touched the ball, actually, since he's come on. I can't think that he's touched it before. Phil Foden take it. We're inside the last 10 now. City on their way to 3 points to close the gap at the top. 2-0 against Brentford. We've only really had one opportunity in this game, that Thiago shot. City have been comfortable other than that. Foden, then in it comes. Straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Again, that just maybe sort of sums up Phil Foden's season. It's been a disappointing one. Here's Atara. Tries to find Sharda. Straight to Bernardo Silva. Now Doku. Doku pokes it back towards the edge of the halfway line. Nico O'Reilly in field to Matheus Nunes. Nunes is going to float one out to Doku again. Now then, Jeremy Doku. He's only scored 5 goals this season. He's got 3 of them in the last week. Infield to O'Reilly. Manchester City know how to see out games. Certainly with a 2-goal lead they do. Doku now left-hand side of the penalty area. O'Reilly goes back out to Doku. Slightly behind the Belgian, but he does well to stretch and retrieve and then go back to Ake. He's then pushed over, but the referee allows play to continue because City have possession, and then he doesn't. Not entirely sure why. He couldn't have carried on. City are still in possession down the left-hand side. They then do take the free kick, and it just goes straight back to Doku. Back to O'Reilly. 9 minutes left on the clock now. City have only got one away game to play, but that is against Bournemouth. That's probably their most difficult game in their run-in in their last remaining games, as Semenyo gets the cross in, and it's headed clear and out towards the far side by Ayer, retrieved by Doku. Doku now goes back to Bernardo Silva. Square across the edge of the 18-yard line. When it comes through to Phil Foden, back to goal. Foden wriggles his way out of the penalty area, then goes back out to Doku, then makes his way back inside the penalty area. Can the Belgian deliver? Down towards the byline he goes, Doku. He does cut it back. Oh, Foden with the shot at the near post, and it's a brilliant save by Kelleher. Goodness me. Cut back by Doku, and there was Foden. He was only about 4 yards out, seemed certain to score, and somehow Kelleher's pushed that over the bar for a corner. What a save. Brilliant work again from Doku. He's got to be almost certainly, I wouldn't even say contender for man of the match. He is man of the match. He's been absolutely superb again this afternoon for Manchester City. But what a save by Kelleher. Corner for City, their 9th of the afternoon, and Phil Foden so close to getting a third. Takes this corner himself, and it comes towards the far post, and Brentford get it clear. Luke clear down this near side, long towards the halfway line, volleyed back by Matheus Nunes towards the edge of the penalty area. Goodness me, that one caught snow, I think, as it went up. And then Brentford get it clear down the centre. Thiago will give chase, but that's a cushioned header, nice cushioned header as well, towards Nico O'Reilly. Ake down the line. Doku is pushed, is he? Doku is pushed by Coyote. Free kick to City inside their own penalty area. And City will certainly want to ensure Arsenal remain honest in this title race. They'll want to win all of these games and ensure that Arsenal have to win all of theirs as well if they are going to win this title. They don't want to gift it to Arsenal. They don't want Arsenal in a position where they can drop points and still win the league. And as it stands, they still will need to win all 3 of their games. Long ball forward now for Brentford. Guay with the header. Picked up by Atara. It's a decent game actually since he's come on, Atara. Sloppy by Jensen, losing possession. Now Haaland. Haaland showed his strength, showing his pace. Haaland still going. Can he get it through? Is that the third? Oh, what a brilliantly timed challenge. Goodness me, by Ayer just before the trigger was about to be pulled by Omar Marmoush. Beautiful ball slipped through by Haaland. Really showing his strength there. Picks the ball up inside the centre circle. Drives forward. The ball through. It's almost on a plate for Omar Marmoush, but what a brilliantly timed challenge that is by Ayer to slide in there. He had to get the timing right, otherwise it was a penalty. It's absolute perfection. And it is a corner for Manchester City. We're into double figures now. Phil Foden, left-footed in, swinging from the far side. Curls it in, and it's headed clear and out towards this near side, but is there a foul in there? No, the referee carries on. I thought he blown his whistle then. Comes out to Doku. Way it was who jumped for it. Doku down towards the byline. Brilliant again from him, but he can't find a blue shirt. And Brentford can clear. 5 minutes to play. Down the line it goes. Atara will give chase for Brentford. Good work by Nico O'Reilly, though. Really good from him. Finds Nunes. Nunes over the halfway line. Pokes it back to Haaland, who's in a deep position here, just to the left of the centre circle. Goes back to Foden, who's inside the centre circle. We're inside the last 5 now. City are heading up to 74 points. If they win all their remaining games, Manchester City, they'll end up with 83. Arsenal can get to 85. It's not the sort of numbers that we saw, we've certainly seen in the past with Manchester City, of course, who do hold the record for the most ever points in a Premier League season. 100 they got, of course, in their first year, winning the title, of course, against under the stewardship of Pep Guardiola, and a couple of times they've been well into the 90s as well, when they've been pushed all the way by Liverpool, who've found themselves with a ridiculous points total at the end of the season and still not won the title on a couple of occasions. Ake goes back to Gueye. Gueye closed down by Thiago, goes back to the goalkeeper. It's been a comfortable afternoon really for Donnarumma. Just that one save he had to make from Thiago, but it was a save you'd expect the Italian to make at his near post. Ball is loose over on the far side, and City have come away with it. Bernardo Silva continues to run his socks off. Good strength by him, holding off Jensen. He'll get the free kick in the end. Jensen thinks he's won the ball back eventually, but there was a little tug of the shirt, and it'll be a free kick to Manchester City just outside the centre circle, inside their own half. So Manchester City, there's a little bit of afters here between, is it Henderson and, well, Matheus Nunes is getting involved for no reason whatsoever. He needs to calm down. He really does. The Portuguese getting very irate about something. Referee trying to simmer things. And the Brentford player who's most vocal is actually Jordan Henderson. He's actually been pushed away in the end by his teammate Nathan Collins. Henderson does eventually walk away. Free kick to City then. So City fans will become West Ham United fans tomorrow afternoon. Goodness knows what Spurs fans will become, or they become Arsenal fans, because it will really benefit Tottenham if Arsenal do win tomorrow at the Olympic Stadium, because if West Ham were to win that game, they will go above Spurs. Jordan Henderson, who's only on the pitch a few minutes, has picked up a yellow card. There's another one. Who's that one for? That one's for Matheus Nunes. Well, it was inevitable he was going to get one. So Nunes in the book. Jordan Henderson, who's barely touched the ball since he's come on as a late substitute, he also goes into the book. And following all that, Manchester City have a free kick inside their own half. They go long towards Semenyo, and there's a cushioned header, nice cushioned header, back to the goalkeeper by Keane Lewis-Potter. Low ball out for Brentford. Well, if they are going to get back in this, Brentford, they're going to have to score very, very quickly. We're in the 89th minute. Ball looped down the left-hand side. There's the header clear from Gueye. Semenyo in a deep position now, finds Foden in field. Foden's going to go long down the centre, and that's dealt with by Kelleher. Lovely header as well inside the D to set Brentford on their way again. Atara now down this near side. Infield it goes, and then scooped back towards the edge of the penalty area by Ayer. Here's Nathan Collins. Out to Lewis-Potter over on that far side for Brentford. Goes back to Collins again, left-hand side of the penalty. Again, Brentford intent on playing out from the back, but in the end Collins does go long down the centre. Here's Schade. Pushes it off towards the left-hand side. Sliding challenge. Oh, beautifully timed sliding challenge as well by Bernardo Silva. Didn't just get the challenge in, he wins the ball back for Manchester City. Now Doku just overruns it to the inside the centre circle. There's a foul there. 2 City players down. Janelt with the foul. Free kick to Manchester City. Janelt's furious with the decision. Foden is down. And we're inside the 90th minute here at the Etihad. Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. And the referee calls on the trainer. So Manchester City then will play up next against Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. They're back here again at the Etihad. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock kickoff for that one. Then they've got the small matter of the FA Cup final next Saturday afternoon. 3 o'clock kickoff for that one at Wembley. They then go to Bournemouth on the 19th of May. 7:30 kickoff for that one down on the south coast. But Bournemouth are on a long unbeaten run. They're actually on the longest unbeaten run in the Premier League are Bournemouth, I should say. And they haven't actually lost in the Premier League since they lost to Arsenal, which was over 4 months ago. Savinho's on for Doku, who gets a standing ovation, and surely a man of the match accolade as well for the Belgians. Been absolutely superb and set Manchester City on their way with that goal on the hour mark. So he comes off, and Savinho, forgotten man really here at the Etihad, the Brazilian. There was talk about him leaving, of course. Long ball scooped down the left-hand side. Thiago will give chase for Brentford. Pushed wide by Gueye. Holds it up, goes down the line. Inside stoppage time, by the way. 5 minutes to add on. Jensen down the line towards Thiago. He's not going to keep that in play. That's a poor ball, and it's out for a goal kick. And Brentford, well, their remaining fixtures, we've just got the 2 left. They also play Crystal Palace next Sunday at home. That's their final game at home. And they've got Liverpool on the last day of the season. Liverpool, you feel, will be comfortable for a Champions League position by then, but dropped a couple of points today, did Arne Slot's men, the reigning champions, of course. And until somebody wins this title race, either Manchester City or Arsenal, we can still call Liverpool the Premier League champions. They are still the Premier League champions until somebody else has won it. And Manchester City are going to push till the end of the season. Ball looped down the right-hand side for Atara to chase, but Ake comes across, clears down the line, and it goes back in field to Phil Foden. And towards this near side it goes. Here's an opportunity over the halfway line comes Savinho. First opportunity really for the Brazilian. Haaland outside the penalty area. Will it come through from Marmoush? Brilliant goal. 3-0 to Manchester City. That's a lovely finish by Omar Marmoush, who's come on as a second-half substitute. Played through by Erling Haaland and right-footed across the goalkeeper. Tucks it into the corner. And that is the cherry on the cake for Manchester City. They're not going to give up this title race easily, are they? They've got it all done in the second half. Pep Guardiola with a smile on his face finally. Looks so agitated for the first hour, but Manchester City have turned it on in this last half an hour. 3 goals now and a comfortable 3-0 lead here against Brentford. Brentford were cut open there. They were so short at the back. Haaland, though, slips it through for Marmoush. One touch to take it towards the right-hand side of Nathan Collins, and then right-footed drills it low towards the goalkeeper's left-hand side. It's a lovely finish from Omar Marmoush, and it's 3-0 to Manchester City. And in the end, it has been as comfortable a victory as Pep Guardiola and the Manchester City fans would have wanted. It didn't seem that way for about an hour or so, but once Doku got them on their way with that curler on the hour mark, it's been one-way traffic, to be fair, for Manchester City. Here's Atara making a run down the right-hand side. Infield it goes. Henderson with the cross towards the far post. That's headed clear and out towards the far side for City. It will be retrieved for Brentford by Lewis Potter. Down the line he goes. Also closes up Manchester City's goal difference. Obviously, with City dropping those points, we don't really know how important the goal difference will be. But when the teams, up until that game against Everton, the teams were obviously level on points, we thought that the title might come down to goal difference. Well, it still could. And City plus 40 now with their goal difference. Arsenal plus 41. So they closed that gap today. Here's Atara, right side of the penalty area. Lovely cross as well. There's the header. Oh, pushed onto the bar and over by Donnarumma. Thiago with the header, and that is as close as Brentford have come in the 4th minute of stoppage time. It's a good header. It's a save you'd expect Donnarumma to make. It's fairly central, either side of the goalkeeper, and it's a goal. Pushes it over the bar, and Brentford have their second corner of the afternoon. And Omar Marmoush has got himself booked for trying to time waste, I think, by moving the ball as Brentford tried to take the quick corner. Jensen then over the far side. We're in the final minute of stoppage time. City 3, Brentford 0. So many players literally on the goal line. They've actually gone short with it in the end. Here comes the cross. City will get it clear. Semenyo just hacks it clear. And here is Kelleher. Controls it well, actually, the goalkeeper, and then drills it long right-footed out towards the far side. But City will allow that to go out of play, and I think that'll be pretty much it. So, well, they dominated, to be fair, Manchester City for an hour. They just couldn't get the breakthrough. They did in the end through Jeremy Doku in the 60th minute. Haaland getting the second, 75th. Not the cleanest of finishes, not the best goal he'll ever score, but they all count. And then Omar Mouche with the icing on the cake in stoppage time, making it Manchester City 3, Brentford 0. And there might be one final opportunity here for a break. Here's Semenyo. Semenyo still. And he's overrun it there as he does poke it back in the end. And Brentford managed to get it clear. Here's Atara. That's gone off of Bernardo Silva. That's out for a goal kick. And that, I think, will be that. Well, they've got going in the end, the Manchester City fans. It was like a library in here for about an hour. It really was. A lot of empty seats now, but you can understand that with City comfortable. And those that want to beat the traffic, of course. And City will have to do it all over again on Wednesday night, where they've got to beat Crystal Palace as well. They'll hope for the best tomorrow at the Olympic Stadium. See if West Ham can do them a favour. But they've just got to keep winning their games. And the next game being Crystal Palace on Wednesday the 13th. Palace on a high from getting through to that Conference League final. But you wonder how motivated they will be. There goes the final whistle. And Manchester City keep the title race alive. They close the gap at the top on Arsenal to 2 points. They got there in the end with 3 second-half goals through Jeremy Doku, Erling Haaland and Omar Marmouche. It's finished here at the Etihad. Manchester City 3, Brentford 0. Thanks very much for listening, and do enjoy the rest of your weekend.